Whakaalawhatu, good evening and welcome to our bulletin of BCN News, a special whakaalawhatu to our viewers from across the Pacific, thanks to our partner Pacifica TV. Leading the news tonight, after almost 3 days without power for 9 villages, the Niue Power team brought in an engineer last Friday and power was restored. However, the Director of Utilities, Clinton Chapman, told BCN News that there is still a lot of work to be done. The government's 2 power stations are both in use at this time as they await the arrival of parts to fix the damaged generator at the new power station. Here's the story. The team at Niue Power is working around the clock to remedy the faults that caused the power outage last week. BCN News spoke with the Director of the Department of Utilities, Clinton Chapman, on Monday.
A number of things caused the outage. We made some improvements with an overseas contractor at the new station. That improvement included a safety feature, which is an earthing requirement to make the earthing requirement safer for the customers as well as us at the station end. Unfortunately, when we tried to commission that system, it tripped the whole island first off. So we were able then to bring the system back online from the new station.
Chapman explained that they are using both the old and the new power stations at this time.
So we have two power stations, one being the new one that we commissioned 1.5 years ago, and the old one, of course. We still have that in operation. When we tried to get the power back on, it caused issue to one of the 2 generators in the new station. So what we did then was we powered up the old station to supply the north and maintain the new station supplying the south.
There is still a requirement for the public to conserve power consumption at this time as they await the arrival of parts from overseas.
The usual things, to minimize the use of appliances, especially stoves and dryers if we have those, to minimize the use of power, especially during the peak hours, 6 to 9 in the morning and 6 to 9 in the evenings.
Clinton Chapman explains that they are also working on installing transformers that will, in the long term, localize power outages to affected areas only.
In us doing the work that we're doing now to get the new station online, we still have other works on hand. The renewable energy project is scheduled to finish by the end of May. We have to upgrade the transformers along the north. So it's important to distinguish the 2 outages that we've been having. The scheduled outages since we've had from January to February, that's scheduled so that we can upgrade the transformers on the north. So that's why we've been turning the north off rather than the south, because we've done the transformer upgrades for the south side. To enable that, why do we do that, is that going forward, we'll be able to limit the parts in the lofi on the north side that can be affected by power when there's an issue. So we can sectorize the northern feeder more so that less customers are inconvenient.
Later in the year, Niue Power will also be working on transitioning to solar power with the commissioning of the renewable energy project expected in late May or June this year. But in the meantime, the call to conserve energy is still in place to avoid any further power outages. A Medevac flight was called in on Saturday evening to transport a patient to New Zealand. BCN News was told that the patient was the Minister of Finance, Honourable Crosley Tatui. It is not clear what his condition is at this time, but what we do know is that Minister Tatui was recently overseas and returned to the island on the 6th of this month. Sources told BCN News that the minister was admitted to the hospital on Thursday, the 12th of February. The office of the Prime Minister and Cabinet was contacted this week, but they were not able to provide any information about Minister Tatui. At this time, we send words of comfort to his family and pray for a speedy recovery for the minister. And the government is establishing a new division called the Government Vehicle and Machinery Depot. And this new division will come under the office of the Prime Minister. This week, the Public Service Commission put out a notice calling for applications for 3 vacant positions to start this government vehicles and machinery depot that will be located at Hui Hui in Alofi South. BCN News understands that it has been a long-standing plan of the government from previous years to create this vehicle and machinery depot to better manage the use and maintenance of the government's fleet of vehicles and heavy machinery. According to the Public Service Circular, the 3 employees are expected to begin working as soon as the recruitment process is completed. Specifically, they are looking for a site manager, an administration registry coordinator, and a mechanical coordinator. Just last week, during the sitting of the Niue Assembly, Common Role Member of Parliament, Honourable Billy Talangi, asked the Minister of Police why government vehicles are exempted from the warrant of fitness requirement like all other requirements for road users. It is not clear how many vehicles are in the government's inventory, but some of the vehicles and heavy machinery are very old and likely will fail a warrant of fitness test. And there is no question that the Prime Minister wants changes to the way in which the government vehicles are procured, used and maintained. In an interview with BCN News in December last year, Prime Minister Tagilangi expressed his disappointment at the decisions made by some government departments to rent vehicles for lengthy periods of time, some as long as 3 years. The Prime Minister says that some of these decisions made by government officials did not receive prior cabinet approval. Here's the story. Prime Minister Tagilangi said that while the Cabinet recognises the need for vehicles, it was alarming to learn that some of these rental vehicles had been in place for 3 years in some cases. Prime Minister told BCN News at that time that the government was trying its best to buy vehicles that are brand new, that will last longer, and that can take time. But the alternative to rent vehicles for lengthy periods is not a preferred option. Earlier this week, the government announced the establishment of its government vehicle and machinery depot. It is a well-known fact that some government departments and agencies have more vehicles and other departments have none. And earlier this month, the Department of Education announced the implementation of a program to strengthen literacy, numeracy and bilingual education from early childhood through to secondary schooling, working in partnership with a school and an education consulting group from New Zealand. According to the statement from the Education Department, the partnerships will deliver professional learning and development, on-site training, resource development, assessment alignment, and study tours to strengthen teacher capability. The program entails a 2-year strategic partnership with Rowandale Primary School to deliver prime mathematics programs to students starting from Year 1 to Year 8. 2 weeks ago, Rowandale Principal Kavaso and Deputy Principal Matt Kikitule were on the island to begin the rollout of this program that includes professional development of the teachers. The second partnership is with Vaatele Education Consulting, led by Dr. Ray Silata. The team from Vaatele Education Consulting will support the development of a bilingual education pathway and structured literacy program from creche to Year 8. And this program is aligned with national priorities for the revitalisation of the Wangahau Niue. And according to the press statement from the Education Department, this is about building strong foundations with structured literacy and numeracy programs for Niue's bilingual learners. The National Survey of Mental Health and Wellbeing started this week and will run until the 26th of this month. This survey is the first step to understanding the status of mental health and well-being on the island. Spearheaded by the Department of Health, this survey is available to adults 18 years and over. The team of field workers will be visiting the villages next week, starting with the villages of Tamakautonga, Avasele and Vaiea on Monday next week. On Tuesday next week, the team of field workers will be at Mutalau, Toi, Hikutavake, Namukulu, Lakapa and the village of Liku from 8 a.m. until 12 midday. The Director of Health, Minerva Ikimau McCurdy, says that during the village consultations on the development of the Health Strategic Plan last year, people did share their experiences about coping with stress, and she says this is exactly the type of information that is relevant to this study?
Because it's a national survey, that's the reason why we want to capture as much as possible, but we want to have a good representation of anyone that is 18 years and over, men, women, wherever you are in the community. Those are really only our two criteria, that you are 18 years and over, and yet, anyone that's been on the island as a resident. We encourage you to come and participate, because otherwise we won't be able to fully understand the prevalence of mental health concerns within the island.
On Wednesday next week, the teams will be at Hakupu, Alofi North, Alofi South, Tuapa and Makefu. The National Survey on Mental Health and Wellbeing will be completed on Thursday next week, the 26th of February. And to end the bulletin tonight, the dates for the two sittings of the Niue High Court with the New Zealand-based judges were released this week by the Department of Justice. The court hearings in March has been moved to July this year, starting on the 6th until the 9th of July. The presiding judge is Judge Miharu Armstrong. And the court hearing in November will start on the 2nd until the 5th of November. The presiding judge will be the Chief Justice, Honourable Craig Coxhead. For more information about the Niue High Court sitting with the visiting judges from New Zealand, you can contact the Department of Justice, Land Surveys and Community Services during working hours. But that is the news for us today. BCN News will be back on Tuesday next week with our bulletin in Wangahau Niue. But from all of us here on the team, good night. Munui ni ko.